Ever pondered about the roots of your family tree or the intricacies of your lineage? Understanding genealogy, the study of families, family history, and the tracing of their lineages, can provide fascinating insights into your heritage. The data collected during genealogical research is compiled in the form of a pedigree, a document that records the lineage of an individual or family. This includes a genealogical legend, a narrative about the origin of the components, and a comprehensive listing of all the people of the clan by tribe or quarters. Genealogies are generally divided into two types: ascending and descending. Ascending genealogies trace all the ancestors of a person who is the focus of the pedigree study. Descending genealogies, on the other hand, are built on the principle of tracing lineage from a common ancestor to his or her descendants. The graphic design of genealogical data varies widely. Early genealogies were sometimes depicted in the form of a human body, with the names of parents positioned on the head and relatives spread across the body. However, the most common depiction of genealogical data is in the form of a family tree, an idea that became widespread in the Middle Ages. This family tree is a modification of the so-called world tree, a symbol that reflects the universal interconnection of the world and the unity of origin. The genealogical tree of a clan or family carries the same symbolic meaning. Its leaves may fall, but the tree of the clan itself continues to live. In these family trees, the name of the ancestor is typically placed at the root or base of the tree. The trunk and branches then display the names, portraits, and coats of arms of their descendants. Additional information can be conveyed using color, with different colors representing different family members or statuses. By the end of the 15th and 16th centuries, tables became the most common form of summarizing genealogical information. Like all genealogies, these are divided into ascending and descending, and can trace kinship along the male, female, or both lines. In summary, genealogical research involves the collection of data about a person or family's lineage, compiled in the form of a pedigree. The types of genealogies include ascending and descending, and the data can be graphically represented in various ways, most commonly as a family tree. Understanding your genealogy can provide a fascinating look into your family history and heritage.
Ever wondered about the intricate branches of your family tree? The complex networks that weave together the past, present, and future generations? Today, we delve into the intriguing process of creating a genealogical table, a visual representation of your lineage that is both fascinating and insightful. The process begins with the creation of a mixed ascending table. This method is quite convenient as it provides a clear picture of the number of ancestors, which increases exponentially with each generation. The table can take various forms: vertical, horizontal, or even circular, depending on your preference. It's a compact and visual way to display your family history, highlighting the cross-marriages between lines and emphasizing gender differences. However, this method has its limitations. The table requires brevity, allowing for only a minimal amount of information such as names, nicknames, titles, birth and death dates, number of marriages, and a few other details. In the modern era, the trend is to enrich the pedigree with more information such as biographical details, medical evidence, and links to sources. Unfortunately, the table format doesn't lend itself well to such extensive details. Moreover, a genealogical table usually covers about 10 generations. Any further, and the number of persons included in the table approaches 1,000, making it unwieldy. The use of descending genealogies can mitigate this issue to an extent, but the numbering becomes more complex since the number of children in each generation varies. In such cases, the Aboville system comes into play. This system uses Roman numerals to indicate the serial number of the tribe and Arabic numerals to number children within one generation. It's a clever way to keep track of the kinship and generation of each individual. Creating a genealogy is a result of extensive genealogical research. It involves collecting and systematizing information about those individuals who will be included in the genealogical table or list. Given the sheer amount and diverse nature of this data, it's crucial to pre-process and unify it. One of the preparatory stages includes the compilation of a genealogical dossier. This is a bank of original documents or excerpts from historical sources that comprehensively characterize the person of interest to the genealogist. French historians have developed a universal set of points that should be reflected in such a dossier, including civil status, marital status, nationality, physical condition, intelligence, religion, political beliefs, education, and official and social status. In summary, creating a genealogical table involves a meticulous process of research, collection, and organization of data. It requires the creation of a mixed ascending table, the use of the Aboville system for numbering, and the compilation of a genealogical dossier. Despite its limitations, the table provides a fascinating and visual way to trace your lineage, understand your roots, and appreciate the complex networks that make up your family tree. Ever pondered the intricate weave of ancestry that knits together the tapestry of history? The method of compiling a genealogical dictionary serves as a fascinating tool to unravel these complex threads, particularly when studying the composition of a medieval institution. Imagine an alphabetical catalog of its members, each entry brimming with brief biographical information, unified according to a distinct scheme. From this wealth of preparatory material, a collective portrait of an entire social group takes shape, revealing patterns of origin, methods of obtaining positions and titles, financial statuses, marriages, and more. Now let's transport ourselves back to the 14th century, to the heart of Central Europe. Here we find the rule of a royal dynasty known as the Jagiellons. This lineage held sway over the states of Central Europe from the 14th to the 16th centuries. Representatives of the dynasty were the Grand Dukes of Lithuania from 1377 to 1392, and again from 1440 to 1572. They also held the titles of Kings of Poland from 1386 to 1572, Kings of Hungary from 1440 to 1444, and again from 1490 to 1526, and Kings of Czech from 1471 to 1526. The Jagiellons were an offshoot of the Lithuanian Gediminovich dynasty, which has Belarusian and Baltic roots. One of the prominent figures of this dynasty was Vladislav II Jagiellon, who reigned as the King of the Czech Republic from 1471 to 1516, King of Hungary from 1490 to 1516, and King of the Croatians from 1490 to 1516. He was thrice married, his spouses hailing from prestigious backgrounds, including Barbara von Brandenburg and Beatrice of Sicily. Another key figure was Louis II, who served as the King of Bohemia and Hungary, as well as King Louis II of Croatia from 1516 to 1526. His marriage to Maria Habsburg added another prestigious connection to the dynasty. However, his death in the Battle of Mogaci in 1526 marked the end of the Hungarian-Czech Jagiellon line. Through genealogical research, the lives and times of these historical figures come alive, providing us with a vivid picture of the past. The methods used in this research are as diverse as the stories they help uncover, constantly evolving to adapt to the source material and the goals of the work. Thus, the study of genealogy and the Jagiellonian dynasty offers a fascinating journey through the corridors of time, shedding light on the complex web of relationships that shape the course of history.
Have you ever pondered the profound influence a single dynasty can have on the course of history, shaping nations, cultures, and the geopolitical landscape? The Jagiellon Dynasty, a Polish-Lithuanian lineage, is a prime example of such a force, leaving an indelible mark on Eastern Europe. The story of the Jagiellons begins with a Lithuanian prince and Polish king named Jagiello. His reign marked the beginning of a powerful union between Lithuania and Poland, a bond that would morph, fluctuate, and sometimes fracture, but ultimately stand as a beacon of unity in Eastern Europe. This federation was so powerful that it attracted other nations, leading to invitations for the Jagiellons to assume sovereignty over other lands. However, not all these invitations were accepted. The Czechs in the Hussite era offered their crown to Jogaila and later to Vytautas. But opposition from the Catholic clergy, fearing the spread of Hussite heresy, thwarted these plans. When the Czech throne was offered to Jagiello's second son Casimir, the same reasons led to the plan's failure. The Jagiellons, however, did manage to acquire the crown of Hungary when Polish king Vladislav III ascended to the throne in 1440. His successor, Casimir IV, pursued a vigorous dynastic policy. This led to the elevation of his son Vladislav to the Czech throne, though an attempt to place his second son, Casimir, on the Hungarian throne resulted in a war with the Hungarian king Matthew Corvinus. By the end of the 15th and start of the 16th centuries, the Jagiellons held sway over Lithuania, Poland, Prussia, the Czech Republic, and Hungary. While their power seemed immense, the foundations were fragile, not least because of their limited financial resources. In 1526, the dynasty suffered a significant setback with the death of the Czech-Hungarian King Louis in battle against the Turks. The Czech Republic and Hungary were lost to the Habsburgs, based on a prior agreement between the Polish King Sigismund and Emperor Maximilian I. The Jagiellon reign in Poland and Lithuania persisted until 1572, ending with the death of the childless king Sigismund II Augustus. But the influence of the dynasty's policy continued to reverberate through the life of Poland and Lithuania. The Jagiellon dynasty, known more for diplomacy than warfare, used treaties to acquire states, aiming to guarantee equal legal status to the united countries. This approach nurtured what came to be known as the Jagiellonian idea, leading Lithuania and Poland to the Union of Lublin. In conclusion, the Jagiellon dynasty, although not a warmongering lineage, was a significant force in the shaping of Eastern Europe. Their rule, which expanded through strategic alliances and treaties, was instrumental in creating a federation that survived for centuries. Despite the eventual fall of the dynasty, its influence lives on, echoing through the annals of Eastern European history.